Amara stood by the gate of a small house in the village, staring at the empty field in front of her. The land had been barren for months. The harvest had failed, and now there was no money to buy seeds for the next planting season. Her heart was heavy, and her stomach was emptier than she cared to admit. Her husband, Ugo, had passed away 2 years ago from an illness that had drained their savings. Since then, she had struggled to make ends meet. Planting crops on land that was slowly losing its fertility. She had prayed countless times, asking God for a breakthrough, but her prayers seemed unanswered. "Lord, are you still there?" she whispered, looking up at the sky. She thought of Matthew 7:7. "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you." She had asked. She had sought. She had knocked. But the door still seemed closed. As Amara turned to go inside, she heard the sound of footsteps. It was her neighbor, Nkechi, walking briskly toward her. "Amara, I have been looking for you," Nkechi said, her face filled with urgency. "There is something you need to see. There is a man in the village square giving out money to anyone who needs it. He is offering to buy your land for a good price." Amara's heart skipped a beat. The offer sounded tempting, but something in her spirit felt unsettled. She had always been taught to trust God in times of difficulty, not to run after shortcuts. "I don't know, Nkechi. I've prayed for this land for years," Amara replied, her voice uncertain. "God has given me this land and I can't just give it up. I have to wait on His timing." Nkechi laughed lightly, but there was a tinge of concern in her eyes. "Wait, Amara. When will your waiting end? Look around you. The harvest is gone. You have been waiting for God for 2 years. Maybe it's time you took matters into your own hands." Amara felt a wave of doubt wash over her. What if Nkechi was right? What if waiting on God had caused her to miss an opportunity? She thought of Proverbs 3:5-6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths." "I can't, Nkechi," Amara said, shaking her head. "I have to trust God no matter how long it takes." Nkechi rolled her eyes. "Suit yourself." She turned and walked away, muttering under her breath. That night, Amara lay in bed, her thoughts a whirlwind of uncertainty. She had prayed, she had fasted, and still no breakthrough had come. But as she lay there, a small still voice whispered in her spirit, "Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and He shall strengthen your heart." Psalm 27:14. She felt a surge of peace. God was speaking to her, reminding her that His timing was perfect and His ways were higher than hers. The waiting was part of His plan. The next morning, as she walked out to her field, she felt a renewed sense of hope. She knelt down and prayed, asking God to guide her steps. "Lord, I will wait on you. I trust you, even when I don't understand." As Amara prayed, she noticed something unusual. The soil in the field, which had been dried and cracked, was starting to soften. Small shoots of green were poking through the earth. It wasn't much, but it was a sign that God was working behind the scenes. Over the next few weeks, Amara continued to pray and work the land. The shoots grew stronger and the crops began to flourish. By the time the rainy season came, her farm was the most abundant it had ever been. Not only did she have enough to feed herself, but she also had enough to sell at the local market. One morning, as she was harvesting her crops, Nkechi came to visit again, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Amara, how did you do it?" she asked. "The land is thriving. I thought you were going to lose everything." Amara smiled and replied, "I didn't do it. God did. I chose to wait on Him, and He made a way. You see, Nkechi, God's timing is always perfect. I could have taken the easy way out, but I chose to trust Him." Nkechi looked down, her face softening. "I see now. I should have trusted God too. I have been running around trying to fix things on my own, and it's only made things worse." Amara placed a hand on her shoulder. "It's never too late to trust Him. He will never leave you."